And
Here we go.
go.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Good afternoon. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm 1 minute late. 1 minute
unacceptable,
late.
Lee. Unacceptable.
Woo, man,
We've
what
been
is
waiting on you, Lee.
Woo. I know y'all are here and y'all have some questions. I have some questions that were even sent to me, and we're going to get to those. But I want you all, before we get started, I want you to send this out to someone. Make sure that they are here if you know a Riviera Beach resident, or even if they're not, but someone that has some serious questions, send them on here, send them the link so that they can go ahead and see what is happening and what Mayor Lawson has to say. Mayor Lawson, how are you this afternoon? Or this evening, I should say.
Good afternoon, my dear. I am doing amazing. Life is good. Uh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, it was just a little delayed. Go ahead. Yeah.
No worries. Everything is well, Lee. I'm having a wonderful day. It's Good Friday, and I'm happy to join you tonight.
Good, good, good. Well, everyone, we're going to get started. Y'all know me. I love to do a nice 30 minutes. And so I want us to go ahead and get started. I'm just checking on my platforms beforehand. Y'all know I was having a few issues for some reason prior to, and I'm on my Facebook and I see that it is marked as private. So here we go. Good. Let me tag some folks. Let me tag some folks. Mayor, while I am getting situated, tell me, how has your first, I mean, it hasn't been a full week yet, but let's just say, how has your first week been? Tell me, please.
I'm trying to get these shares and these tags out. I'm trying to put this out, and it's been amazing because the first week has been, like I said, hitting the ground running. I don't think
Yeah.
we've ever stopped, or we haven't stopped with the progress, the growth, the engagement, the involvement from the city. My goal was to make sure that I stayed committed to keeping residents engaged, to keeping them involved, and letting the message get across. So uh, I was appointed on Monday. Thank you to the council. Thank you to the city of Riviera Beach and to my colleagues for making that appointment. Myself out of 12 different applicants, went for the mayor's appointment due to a snafu in the process. So fortunately, I was selected by my colleagues on that board, and I was honored to serve. And as of Tuesday, I hit the ground running as the mayor of the city of Riviera Beach, and it's been phenomenal. I'm engaging with the residents. I'm learning the concerns and the issues from the position of the mayor, because I've served for the last 6 years as the council member at the at large. But the role of the mayor is a little bit different when it comes to
Yes.
not actually being a voting member, but or a policymaker, but being
Mhm.
somebody to be the advocate that and the spokesperson for the community. So
Right.
actually hearing the needs. I started as early as Tuesday, meeting with the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta. I met with the police chief and some of the local clergy, and just every day it's been engagement with our residents, and that's why I'm here with you tonight.
Good. Good. Well, let's get straight into it. Listen, if you are in the chat, if you're in the chat, I want you to put your questions in there. I have some, like I said earlier, that have been sent to me previously, but this is an opportunity for us to hear from the mayor and hear what it is that he has to say. So let's get into it. Mayor, are you ready?
Wait, wait, wait. All right, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. All right, listening tour begins now. I'm ready.
Question number one.
Yes.
Okay, question number one. Why? And I'm going to read it exactly how the question has been given to me, and I will qualify afterwards. But this is how it was written to me. Why are y'all building all these high rise buildings in less fortunate neighborhoods that's not low income?
Well, we're not building high-rise buildings as of yet. We've changed the density for some of our Broadway corridor, but I'm not sure. And more to understand the question, we haven't done any high-rise development on the west side of the bridge at all. Actually, the highest density that we have is, I think, 6 stories on any building. So just to understand, we did change and increase the density, though. So that may be the question or the concern as to why are we planning on building more. And the goal is because we have a failing infrastructure. We need additional doors, we need additional residency, and we have to generate additional revenue. The budget comes from the tax-paying residents of our community. And if we don't have enough revenue generated to address infrastructure, we won't be able to address the concerns of the water plant, of the city hall, of the water, of police station and fire stations, and then all the parks, recs, and facilities that we have. So one of our biggest goals is to find development without displacement. That's been always my focus. Gentrification is coming to a community, and we need to make sure that we get ahead of it, develop it, keep our residents safe, keep our parents and our grandparents' homes safe, and make sure they can sustain and live in the community. Also addressing economics and income, and also the ability to be able to live and be sustainable. So development is coming. It's happening. We're the last undeveloped beachfront, portfront railroad community. We have to do it safely with the intent of the residents. And we haven't built it yet, but we're doing it safely, and we're looking at the options of how to build it now.
Okay. And listen, if you all are on this evening, if there are any comments, questions that you have about what the mayor is being asked, or any clarification as well, I want you to put it in the chat. Send this to somebody so that you can get your questions answered. Question number 2, Mayor, what are your plans for the homeless? This is from Jasmine of Riviera Beach.
Thank you, Ms. Jasmine. We've been working aggressively with our police chief and with a lot of the different community organizations, and the homeless population has decreased tremendously in Riviera Beach. Our goal was to make sure that we provided opportunities, resources, and housing for them. But just to put up a resident for a night or give them a meal for the night is not addressing the root cause. The root issue is really trying to address economics, give jobs, funding, resources to some of our homeless, and then also working, because homeless is also a derivative of mental health and health crisis. So making sure that we have those resources for all of our residents, so that when we do have individuals that are in need, we can provide those resources to them. So partnering with local organizations, the city is as a policymaker, we provide safety, security for all of our residents of our community, but we don't actually have a shelter in Riviera Beach. So that's something that we have to look at, which is only a short-term fix as well. So again, I think we have to really focus on the root cause, and that's part of the listening tour. So these are some of my ideas, but honestly, Leanne, I'm going to be candid. Part of my mayor's action plan that I presented is to listen and to spend time answering and addressing the concerns and the thoughts. So hearing the feedback from tonight and over the next month is what I'm going to do, because I just took change from the role of policymaker to mayoral position. And this gives me an opportunity to really listen to residents, to hear what they want to see, and not roll out a plan that's just my plan. So some of the things are from conversations I've had, but I want feedback. I want to have dialogue, and I want to have open, honest, transparent conversation about the issues, and then also the solutions that come with it. Because my opinion is just my opinion, but I speak for the people. So the people's opinion is what I want to hear. So I'm going to throw that question back at you, and also to some of the followers. What do you want to see me do or to help with the homeless population? Because my idea is just something that's come up from things that I've engaged. What can be a solution that I can present from the mayor's office? So I'm going to travel all over the country to see what options they have, but it also takes help from right here in Riviera Beach. What do you want to see? What solutions do you bring to the table? Miss Jasmine, give me a call. Reach out to me. Tell me what solutions you'd like me to implement, and see if it's feasible for us to do it or not. See where if I can contact some of the local developers, and they talked about these high rises. See if they're willing to contribute and help fund some of the resources for the homeless population, provide jobs for some of the homeless population, provide mental health resources for the homeless population. So I appreciate the interview, Lee, but I'm going to just really give you some of my narrative based upon what I've heard and seen. But I'm always going to ask the residents, what do you want to see? What do you want from me? All right. Yeah. And I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Sherwin Foster. I see he just tuned in as well. That's my guy right there. I'm excited. I'm gonna see you at your
Hi,
grand.
Sherwin.
I'm proud of what you're doing. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do right here in Riviera Beach at the Diplomat Center. And I've been trying to get you to set up shop in Riviera Beach, Sherwin. So thank you, and thank you for partnering with the Collymores at the Diplomat Center. But go ahead, Lee.
Yes. And let me touch on that a bit. What I have heard and what I have gathered is exactly actually what you just said. I surveyed, just a few out of the community, and what they did say to me was, we just want to be heard. We want somebody to hear us. We want somebody who is reachable. This is what they told me. We want somebody that is reachable. We want somebody who is accessible. We want somebody who, we know that we can talk to, or we know that instead of trying to reach out to someone, we're getting somebody else, that we actually get our answers heard. So I know that, some of the folks that are on actually appreciate that, because that is a lot of what I heard. It's the listening factor and the response and the engagement with what the people of this city need. Let's move on to another question. This is also from Jasmine. Jasmine says, why does the train stop at the most busy part of the day before and after school?
So we've actually worked with that, and that's been an issue that I've worked with the port. the executive director and also the port director and port commissioners to figure out why is it that we can't address this issue, because it's not just the busiest part. It's a crisis. It's a health crisis. It's a public safety crisis. Why do we have this train stopping on our tracks and it will not stop anywhere else? You don't see this in Palm Beach Gardens, West Palm Beach. Why is it that this train just stops on our tracks? The basic understanding as to why is that because of our port, the train is trying to roll into the port and it has to derail and move back into the port. So it literally stops, unbuckles, and then rolls into the port. That is something that I've been working on personally with our state and federal lobbyists for the last 6 years. It's an expensive fix, but it's a necessary fix, because just like how we have that brand new pretty fire station, if we have an issue or a crisis just past it and there's a train sitting there, they're going to have to go all the way to 13th or all the way to Silver Beach just to get to somebody that may be on the other side of that track. So we have to make sure that we address that it's an inconvenience and it's a trauma for my community and my residents. There's a reason that it happens, but it's not an excuse for why it needs to stop happening. So we need to go ahead and address it with the port commissioners. And because we don't have access to running and managing and operating, they continue to just take advantage of our community and doing it here. So it's a constant conversation that we've had. We've improved it tremendously. It does not stop for as long and in light of what it has been in the past, because we've worked out with the scheduling, with the process, and with kind of the loading and deloading. It's something we've been working on for a number of years. So it's much better than it's previously been, but it's a constant conversation that we are having and something that we'll continue to address.
Mayor, we have a question that came in the comments from Dr. Linda Collymore. She says, she says, in light of the divisions that have plagued the Riviera Beach community, what are your priority plans within your first 30 days to bring the city together and move the city forward? Now, this is a two-parter. I will say part two. Hopefully you can see this question on your screen as well. Part two says, would these plans include your opponents and those who do not agree with your appointment? If so, how? So, okay, let's do part one. What are your priority plans within the first 30 days to bring the city together and move the city forward?
So I'm going to just kind of say, I just envisioned Pastor Collymore sitting here just typing like this, which just kind of, and Pastor, thank you, because I think that she has seen this personally and in the community. She really wants this to be addressed and wants support as to how it can be addressed within this community. And first, I'll start with the second part. I've already started meeting with most of my, as they call, opponents. I wouldn't even call them opponents. They're colleagues and individuals that just wanted to serve. I, in light, saw the excitement of Riviera Beach, because it wasn't an opponent. It was an open seat. They all wanted the opportunity to continue to serve. So I've already engaged with, I would say, about 80% of them to discuss that. One-on-one sit-down conversations to discuss what are the needs, how can they be impactful, and how can they stay engaged. Only 5 of the 12 applicants applied to run for office. But at the same time, all of them applied to serve this beautiful city. They may not have want to run or campaign or do all the certain nuances of what it takes to be an elected official through the general process, but this process allowed for them to serve in a capacity that they were all fit to do that. So I wanted to not take light the engagement that they had, the involvement that they had, and make sure that they could participate in an advisory council or board. So I've done one-on-one and set up meetings with all of them. Well, a majority of them so far. I haven't been able to get a hold of all of them, but a majority of them I've reached out to say, regardless of who's in this seat, let's work together. So I've already reached out to them. I've begun the conversations, and I'm going to be continuing to have those. The next 30 days, as I said earlier, it's the listening tour. I'm going to be stopping all over the city and doing I'm going to do a community charrettes and conversations to discuss the needs of our residents, to just listen. I am going to close my mouth, open my ears, and have my staff there to address the concerns. And I don't want this, and I want to be clear, I don't want this to just be a finger pointing. I don't want this to be, oh, well, y'all not doing this, y'all not doing that. I want you to come to the table as residents, as business owners, as clergy, as entrepreneurs, as the youth, and say, these are some of the issues that plague our community, and this is what we would like to see. How do we address this? Or I have an idea of how to address it. Because the next 30 days is all I'm going to spend doing before I roll out my mayoral action plan is listening. So these next 30 days is my listening tour, and I will be all over Riviera Beach to listen to the needs. And I'm going to be starting next week at one of the local churches first. And then I'm going to be going all over. So I have plans to be, actually, I'm coming to the Diplomat Center for one of my tours. So I'll be there as well, just to kind of host a listening tour as well in the middle of May. I've already scheduled with the Amaret. I'm going to be over there on Singer Island. I've already scheduled with Park Manor to do one at the marina to address some of the local residents. And I'm also going to be on military. So I'm going to go from Monroe Heights to Federal Gardens to military to Park Manor. And we're going to start right at Pleasant Heights. Thank you for sharing the flyer. I'm going to start right at Pleasant Heights, which is on Avenue O and 34th Street. And we're going to go all over the community. So you'll see these flyers being shared. And every week I will be doing another open conversation. I'll have refreshments, we'll have dialogue, but I'm going to be starting on time. As Lee knows me, I like to be on time. I like to be clear and concise. So from 6 to about 7:15, 7:30, we're going to be addressing and listening. And I'm going to have some of my staff there to hear it as well. It's not going to be a question and debate.
Right.
It's not going to be more of pointing the finger. It's not going to be, oh, well, this is not happening, that's not happening. It's going to be a solution-oriented listening tour, to listen to the needs, to listen to the concerns, and to address them. And then I will take that feedback from the listening tour and then roll out a real action plan based upon what the residents tell me, not what I say or what I think. You're breaking up a little bit, Lee. You okay?
Good.
No
Good.
sound going in and out.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm wondering. I was wondering if it was me or if it was you. I'm hoping that everyone can hear me. Hold on a moment. Can everyone hear us? If you're in the chat, I need you to let me know if you can hear us. I think I'm having issues on my end. I want to make sure that y'all can hear us. Please let me know in the chat there.
It was going out a minute ago, but it looks like it's good now. It cleared up.
Yeah, it looks like it's okay now. Okay, perfect. I heard most of what you said, so that's good. I got the gist. And I actually believe that you answered both parts of the question. Here. Went out again. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I think they can hear us both. They're saying it.
There we go. Okay. And it seems to me as though you answered both parts of the question. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So let's see what else I have here. Okay. Another question here from Jasmine of Riviera Beach. What's the plan on cracking down on prostitution?
So our chief has been doing a phenomenal job with engaging on prostitution, homeless population, vagrants, anybody that is in need or anybody that is just literally a criminal on the street. What they're trying to do is make sure that we do a good focus on community engagement, on community policing, and not just arresting people out. Because even with prostitution, if you arrest somebody that is just trying to make money or out on the street trying to figure out how do they take care of their family, or that's the only way that they can think, you just arresting them, they'll be back on the street the next day. So unfortunately, that's not the solution. So my Chief Coleman has been doing a great job of the community policing, of the engagement, of finding opportunities and resources. Because now think about this. There's a reason that you may have prostitution that's out, and even also trafficking. Those are some major issues that we have in Riviera Beach. People don't realize we're a port front. We're a railroad, and we're right by an airport. Right. Human trafficking is rampant in Riviera Beach, and people don't even know that. So what we have to do as a team and as a collective is work with our department, work with our police chief, work with our police department, and also work with our clergy and some of the community outreach programs to be able to change and reduce those numbers. We've reduced the numbers in regards to violent crimes by over 50% just in the last couple of years. So the numbers have decreased tremendously, but we have to help in all aspects. So that's going to be in regards to education. That's going to be in regards to community access resources and outreach. It's also going to be in reference to economics and growth and job opportunities, because an individual that may be out on the streets trying to generate money for their household is looking for an opportunity to feed their household or take care of it, because that may be all they know. So what opportunities can we provide? So like I said earlier, addressing the root cause. But it's going to be organizations like yourself, organizations like community partners, organizations that are all over this county that need to partner with the city. So now you have a spokesperson who's going to advocate, because as you know, I've been deeply rooted when it comes to mental health and substance abuse. So it's finding those resources and those partners that can kind of combine with us. And then the development community. We talked earlier about these high rises. What can you developers do for us? You want to build 26 stories condos, $1 million condos on our waterfront and utilize our land. How are you providing resources to our community so that they benefit not only from the condos that a lot of them can't actually live in, but how are they going to benefit from you actually making millions through education, through economic growth and development, through jobs, through funding, through support, through housing, All of these are going to be the requirements. So I'm going to be reaching out to every organization that can provide these resources and say, how do we couple you with the development community to provide the funding? Because you need funding to be able to provide these resources. You can't just do it without having it, because you have administrators, you have food, you have staff. Just even being able to put somebody else up into a property, a house, or a facility, these organizations need the funds to be able to pay for that. Nothing in life is free. So we need those funds and the resources as a collective to work together. So that's my plan of how to actually address the prostitution, the homeless, and the mental health crisis, is to work together with the collective. I see Mr. Brother Thicklin, Pastor Thicklin, thank you for joining us. A great, amazing leader, advocate, and his organization has been a staple in our community. He's one of the ones that needs to be a partner at the table so that we can all work together. I cannot do this by myself. I'm not going to be just the person that tries to tell you what to do or how to do it. I'm going to be a mayor of the people that works with everybody and uses the resources of the community to get it done.
Yes, and also, Mayor, we have Councilwoman Shalonda Warren on as well. And she said she is enthusiastic and optimistic about what is ahead.
Listen, tell my sister, and I'm going
Yes.
to tell her out loud and proud, I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you for your service to the city of West Palm Beach. That's our sister city. They are adjacent and abutting us. So a lot of the issues and problems that we run into is similar, that I have conversations with her about, that we discuss. Those are the partnerships and relationships that we have to do and address, because the same individuals walking up and down Broadway is walking over that bridge to get into West Palm Beach. The same homeless population that she's dealing with, we're dealing with. The same lack of resource and access to information, capital, and education is what she's dealing with in the community. So that's the partnership that we can have. And I'm just so happy she's joining us tonight, because we have those constant conversations. We have our debates, discussions, dialogue, and uplifting and growth, because we have to pour into each other so that we can pour into the community.
Yes. Yes. Here we go. We have another one. Ooh, we might have to do this one again. Here we go. Okay. Sharon Smith says, what can the residents community of Riviera Beach do to improve and better the community? This is an interesting one. This is on the flip side now.
No, that's an easy one. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Engagement, involvement, consistently showing up. We had a dismal voter turnout in the last election. Yet your voting electeds are the ones that make your $1 million decisions across the city. You want to improve resources and programming. You want better parks and recs. You want better programming policies, and you want development to be done in the right way, safe development without displacing our residents. You need to make sure your voices are heard. It's difficult to show up every Wednesday to these council meetings. I get it. I understand. But I do want you to be involved, not just during election time, because number one, we need people that are going to get out and vote for the right people. Having these discussions. You see, I just got elected, and I'm not waiting until election time to come voice my concerns and listen to the people. I'm starting day one, because I want to hear what the people have to say and what's going on with everything in our community. And that's our biggest thing right now. Engagement from the residents, making sure their voices are heard, getting out to vote, and being involved. So that's going to be something that I push back onto my residents during my listening tour, to say, how do we consistently keep this dialogue and discussion going? What's going to be the next step to listen to you, to hear from you, and make sure you guys stay at the table? How do we increase the numbers with the voting population right now? Because having 13% of the residents, when you have 38,000 residents, and the last election was based on 3,400, is not acceptable when we have so many voices that are being heard. Because a lot of the engaged individuals that are here that are asking questions, they probably are super voters. They're historically at the poll. Take 20 people with you to the polls to make sure that that number increases. Make sure that you hold accountable that person that sits in the dais that you either voted for or didn't vote for. Because Pastor Collymore asked earlier, how are we going to work with even our opponents? Right. How do we work with the people that didn't support us? We have to, because our kids and our grandkids depend on it. So that's how you work with them. We have to work together to change and to improve the quality of Riviera Beach, financially, spiritually, emotionally, as kingdom communities, as my girl would say.
Y'all know. Yep. He knows what's up, y'all.
That's not a handshake.
Okay. Listen, here we go. Here's another one.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't we have community pickup trash anymore to beautify our neighborhoods?
Community cleanups are being done, just not as consistently, and not in a position where they're done in a position that it's actually marketed and advertised properly. As you know, I've been advocating for marketing, for communications, for outreach all over Riviera Beach. I want the narrative to be painted of what's actually happening, People always say, Lawson, you all in the video. You're always here. You're always there. No, I just do a good job of marketing what I'm doing in the community because people need to see that things are being done. Outreach is being done. It's not for, to uplift or to celebrate me. It's to celebrate Riviera Beach. So I want the residents to know, and we as a city have to do that. So there are a lot of community outreach and community cleanups. We're actually doing one monthly with our CRA. The men of Omega Sci-Fi, they do it as well. Edwin Ferguson, one of our school district representatives, he's always out every first Saturday or every fourth Saturday. They're out everywhere in the community, always doing cleanups. And he's been telling me we need to do one as well. So our new trash hauler is the Good Company. It's a Black-owned company that actually owns the trash contract. I'm going to be partnering with Willie Good Jr. I'm sorry, Willie Good and Willie Good. We're both Willie Goods to make sure that we do a consistent community cleanup all over Riviera Beach. But it's going to take partners like the hauler and partners like community organizations here to actually accomplish it, because we're going to need the volunteers. We're going to need the organizations to help facilitate it, and we're going to all have to come together to do it. You might be going out again, Lee.
Good. I'm going
Yeah, there's
out
a
again. What
delay.
about now?
You're good now.
Okay. Just to let you all know, April 26th, in one of my last lives that I gave y'all some updates of what's happening in the city. April 26th at 8 a.m. There's going to be a Riviera Beach neighborhood cleanup hosted by the CRA, the Riviera Beach CDC, and the Riviera Beach Police Department. There are a bunch of cleanups actually happening, one on Singer Island, a few different places. So please go online and look at that so that y'all can see what's happening. There we have another one.
But to that point, that's the issue that we have as a community. And I have to make sure I stay on my staff and administration with marketing and advertising. They asked what's going on, why don't we have cleanups? But you just named off 3 or 4 of them. And those have been consistently happening. It's just that we don't do a good enough job of advertising and marketing and getting the residents to know about it. So that's going to be something as well that I make sure through city website, through our social media, through our website platforms, through mailers, and through text messaging, that they just know what's happening in the community.
Yeah.
That's going to be the narrative. We hired a director to handle that. So
yeah. And shout out to Serena. She's been doing a great job. I've been seeing what she's been doing with social media and everything. And I just got to commend her for what she's been doing recently. Mayor, this will probably be one of our last ones, probably second to last here. If you are in the chat, I want you to add in some more questions if you have any. If you have any more questions, you can email me at realestate@luxwealth.co. Because we will do this again. It seems like you all are enjoying getting these questions out. And we like to I personally wanted to do it this way, just so that there's no interruptions and we can go ahead and get the answers out that we need to hear. This is another one. What about the shut-in that can't come to the food drive? Can you send out food drive pamphlets to the residents? And if they are not able to make it, a city worker that is able to drop it off to them, them being the elderly. I got a little bit of clarification on this question. What about the ones who can't come out to food drives? Is there any sort of plan for them?
So that's a great opinion, great idea. That's something that I typically personally have done, but never just kind of implemented as strategy. So anytime that we have a outreach or a community outreach, I'll go ahead and hand deliver and hand drop off to some of the residents, whether it's a food drive, turkey drive, giveaway, anything that they just need. Because that's something that Dan Calloway, one of my mentors, a celebrity, a national treasure from Riviera Beach. He always said, Lawson, make sure you take care of the least, the lost, and the left out. So his focus was always the youth and the seniors. And our goal was always to provide those resources. But that's actually a great recommendation. That's a program that we can implement. And that's the things that I need to hear more of as to how we can actually roll something out, whether it's an ambassador, whether it's a city worker, employee, or even a volunteer that comes in. Because we have volunteers all throughout the community that can just take a list of seniors that need support. But it's a thin line between individuals that just don't want to come and wait in line, that just kind of want you to be hand delivered or hand waited on. So I know it's a little difficult at times, but we can find the volunteers to help the ones that truly just need that support and don't have access to coming out when we do have these drives. So that's a great recommendation and great advice. So thank you for that. And I will be taking note of that.
Yes. Yeah. So everyone, we are closing up now. Mayor, I personally have one last question for you. And I believe that this would be a good way to end off this. And I want to thank you for being on here to answer questions straight from the people. Y'all are here, y'all see straight from the people these questions are coming from. My question for you is, based upon the history of what has been happening in the city, what is your approach to bringing together unity in this city? As somebody who is new here, and as somebody who absolutely loves the city, I truly fell in love with this city when I came. What is your heart? What is your heart? What is your mindset? What do you feel like your mandate is as the new mayor of Riviera Beach, to bring unity to this
I
city?
said it at the last meeting. We are our own worst enemy when it comes to division and divisiveness. We'll air our dirty laundry in public. We'll have disputes, discrepancies, and discussions in the public eye because, as elected officials, we were required under the sunshine. But with staff and with engagement of our community, our residents, our neighbors, we can have collegiate working, a good spirit, a good heart. I came to Riviera Beach as a first generation from Jamaica. My parents, came to the country, and I didn't grow up here. So my grandparents and great grandparents didn't grow up in Riviera Beach. So they considered me when I got elected an outsider because I didn't go to these. My grandparents weren't from these churches. They couldn't say little Dougie was here. I grew up here though, and I'm raising my daughters here. So it's just taking out the division and divisiveness to let residents know why are they still painting a narrative that I'm even not from here, even though I've been serving tirelessly. And I can honestly say and proudly say with my, chest high that I've done a great job serving as an elected official, as a policymaker, even doing some of the roles, that other people haven't been doing. And I can just say proudly that we need to come together as one people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to advocate, communicate, and just reach cross party lines, to reach across the community and say, I'm going to talk to any and everybody and see what solutions you want for the city of Riviera Beach. What do you want us to do to work together? How do we have open, honest, transparent dialogue together? How are you going to come and be solution based versus just pointing the finger? Because ever since I've been elected, ever since I've been appointed as a Monday, I've had individuals that have tried to villainize my efforts and energy of what I'm trying to do. And I'm not running for nothing right now. I don't have an election for 2 years. So what is it now that you have an issue with versus just trying to move us forward? Come with solutions. If you didn't like how I got here, I understand that's what our charter requires. But unfortunately, I'm going to be the mayor. So whatever you guys want to say, you can call me what you want, but at least call me, mayor with respect. Let's do it, and let's do it together. Let's move together. Let's work together. So to address the division, I'm just going to tell everybody stop. Let's work together and let's improve the quality of life because we're losing our community. We're losing it to high rises. Residents are losing their homes. People are dying. So if you really want growth and wealth and development together, let's work together. And let's not just be, narrow minded. Let's work in unison and let's be kind of collegiate and just kind of really be the best city to live, work, and play as the one city that we want.
Awesome, Mayor. Thank you so much. We have three more questions, but let me ask you this: are you able to answer these questions in our chat here on Facebook? And then we have one question on YouTube. It's a question and actually a suggestion at the same time. Ruthie Codrington says, have you looked into some churches in the neighborhood to give out canned goods and other perishable food to the homebound population? And I know that you've actually been meeting with some churches. I think that might have been the thing that you did on the first day that you were appointed. So Ruthie, yes, I believe that actually is happening.
So even
Um,
at the Diplomat Center, your church, you give away free food and produce. So all the
yes,
churches are currently doing it, but I just think that we're working, and so many churches and so many organizations operate in silos.
yeah.
They just kind of operate within their group and within their clique. And I think if we do a better job of combining resources and putting the message and the word out that the city is partnering with you, even if it's just a city president, it doesn't have to be too much of a burden on the city dollars because we have a limited budget to get things done. But at least we can know what's going on and get that message across. Because if the Diplomat Center, if Pleasant Heights, if Mount Zion, if St. James is all doing something, the message needs to get out to let them know that these resources are available. Pastor Lewis just gave away hundreds of sneakers, and it wasn't a big turnout because it wasn't properly advertised by the city and supported by the city. So, of course, Pastor Lewis, who's done a great job in the community, they've tried to get the message across, but they only have their group and their base and their capacity of people they market to. Why don't we make sure that we get press releases done? Why don't we get it on the news? Why is it they only showcase the negative stuff that's happening in Riviera Beach versus talking about all the positive things that we're doing? Why when I cut on Channel 5 or Channel 12 that they're talking about the traumas of our community versus the food drive that the Diplomat Center just gave out? That's what I want to see so that we can advertise and showcase. So that's what I'm going to do. So when I say just stop, I'm telling them, y'all need to stop down talking and downgrading Riviera Beach because I'm going to focus on uplifting and elevating through positive reinforcement. Y'all gonna get sick of me, and it's okay. I mean, listen, I'm going to be accessible. I'm going to be one of the most accessible. My wife says I'm too accessible, but I'm going to do a very good job of making sure I advertise, put the message out, and work together with my community.
Good. Good. Listen, y'all, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on. This will not be the last time that we do this. It truly won't. And I believe that moving forward, I even see new people coming and migrating to the city from other cities. And I truly believe that we will see change. This is just my own personal opinion. As someone that is new in this city, I truly believe that God is doing something here. And I am all for it. I'm all for the unity. I'm all for the change. And I'm all for moving forward. I appreciate you all. I pray and hope that you got your questions answered. If there's anything else, you can reach out to the mayor. Mayor, I believe, is the phone number to your office and the email on the Riviera Beach city website.
I mean, we're so new in the game. I don't even know if it's up yet. I know my email's up right now, but you can reach my chief of staff, who's Eric Range, at rrange@rivierabeach.org, or myself. My email is dlawson@rivierabeach.org. I believe my city phone, which I haven't got yet, is going to be 561-301-2443. Lee, it's E-Range. Eric, as in Eric Range, E-Range.
Oh,
Yep.
E-Range.
And then D Lawson at Riviera Beach.
Okay, hold on
So
now.
everybody, if you guys do need that
Trying to get-
support, if you need that help, I have my email accessible. I believe this will be my city phone number, but we'll see once I get it. I just got appointed 4 days ago. So reach out to me, call me. Leanne can always find me. So call Pastor Collymore, and one of them will be able to find you. But ultimately, I'm going to be, accessible for the people. And by Wednesday, I want all of you to join us at Pleasant Heights to start off and kick off our tour. We're going to be at Pleasant Heights. We'll be at the Marina. We're going to be at the Diplomat Center. We're going to be at Singer Island. We're going to be at the Wells Gym. And we're going to just have open dialogue and discussion, conversation, and all these concerns that you have, bring them, address them, and also come with some solutions as well, because I'm going to be throwing a lot back at you guys. What do you want to see?
Listen, thank you all again for being on. I'm going to post the flyer again so that you all can see where Mayor will be for the next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Listen, this is not the last time y'all will see us on here. And if there are any questions, anything that you have, please, you see all my social media handles at the top. I do updates on Riviera Beach. I do real estate updates, all the sorts. And so hopefully this was helpful to you all. Send this to somebody so that they can see some of these answers. And we will see you all next time.